Yes, the session will be recorded as well. And I'm very happy to see so many of you interested in our topic on understanding inclusive education, some basic concepts. So with that, I will pass the floor on to Peter. He's the coordinator of our project, and he will explain you a little bit more about the project, what are our goals, what we're going to achieve by the end of next year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tawashi, and welcome and good morning, everyone, to, as Tawashi mentioned, our very first webinar of a series of 10 webinars on accessible digital education. Today, our title is Understanding Learning Diversity in a Classroom. My name is Peter Pavedi. I work for All Digital, and I'm the coordinator of the ADEDU project, which stands for Accessible Digital Education. This is an Erasmus Plus project, civil society cooperation program, implemented by 5 partners across Europe. We started working on this project at the beginning of last year, and we continue implementing our activities until the middle of next year. What is the main objective, what we do, what we aim to achieve? To support and empower adult learning centers across Europe in promoting inclusion in education by upskilling the educators on being able to provide trainings to target audiences, learners who have some level of learning disabilities. So our work is focused on supporting organizations, increasing the quality, inclusion, and diversity of their training offers to foster impact and societal and educational levels, including and facilitating the development of digital skills of participants with learning disabilities. We also aim to support educators, trainers, learning centers in upskilling and innovating their training offers by including people who are affected by learning disabilities. And we also provide a better understanding on the level of learning disabilities and the impact on the training and learning methodologies, and what kind of digital tools could be adopted in order to support learners who have learning disabilities. So our primary target group is mainly educators, trainers who are working in the adult education sector, who are working in learning centers, and who want to include or already have the experience of including audiences who have learning disabilities in their educational offers. But our target is going beyond that. We want to support learning centers and the staff of learning centers like managers, administrators, tutors, communication officers, others. And also we extend our scope to different stakeholders, policymakers, and change makers across Europe in education and digital education. But who we benefit ultimately, Europeans who are affected by learning disabilities and to whom educators and learning centers offer training courses and include them in training activities and future educational programs. So who we are a partnership of 5 organizations, 2 European networks. I'm representing All Digital, and we partner with the European Association of Service Providers for Persons with Disabilities, EASPD, also based in Belgium. We have 2 partners in Greece, our professional partners, the Hellenic Open University DAISY Research Group and IASIS NGO from Greece. And we also have a partner from Serbia, the Media Education Center. The partners in Greece and Serbia and also members of All Digital. And what we deliver during the course of the project, first and most, we are developing and we'll be offering a training course for educators on accessible digital education. We also provide a handbook for trainers, how to implement inclusive training offers and digital tools in their training activities. We provide a guideline on inclusive communication and dissemination. And these guidelines are already available on the ADEDU project website. We offer guidelines on how to develop inclusive learning platforms for digital education. And we also organize capacity building activities, just like this webinar today, on different related subjects of digital accessible digital education. And in parallel, we also run on social media an awareness raising campaign on learning disabilities. So let's get to the training and some hints on that. The title of the course is Accessible Digital Education for Learners with Learning Disabilities. It's a 5-week-long course with 50 hours of learning effort, but it can be followed in a self-paced mode. The format is MOOC, and we're going to offer 3 cycles, and the first will be will open in May 25. The second cycle in the autumn, and the third cycle next spring 2026. And where the course will be hosted on the All Digital Academy.eu learning platform, where among next to the ADEDU course, you will find other interesting online courses that are available for free for educators. So the course we are working on and going to offer has 4 modules. And here are the modules. The first one is identifying learning disabilities in the classroom. The second module is focusing on differentiated instructions and personalized learning. Module 3 is exploring how to integrate digital tools and technologies in an inclusive education. And the 4th module is presenting inclusive classroom management and conflict resolution. We have a message for you, and this is a call for the course evaluation. Before launching the course publicly in May, we already make it available for anyone, mainly educators, who are interested in testing and providing us with feedback on the course. So this phase is focusing on assessing the course content, the structure of the modules, and the overall effectiveness and experience from a learner perspective. So if you are interested in participating in this course evaluation phase, then we just opened the course, but only with limited access for those who are interested in supporting us in evaluating the course. And this period has started just 2 days before, and it's open until the end of March. And back to this capacity building webinars, we already scheduled 2 next webinars. They going to be under the umbrella of the All Digital Week's annual awareness raising campaign run every year by All Digital and its partners. And on 19th of March, we are going to discuss how to integrate technology in inclusive education and training. And on the 2nd of April, we'd like to organize a policy discussion on ways forward for inclusive digital education. And back to today, we'll dive into some key concept and language that we can use to understand learning disabilities in the classroom. And the presenter will be Ilyas Rafael, a representative of the IASIS NGO, our member organization. Our partner in this project. IASIS is a scientific responsible and training manager at his organization. So Ilyas, you are most welcome to take the floor and present today's topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Peter, for your presentation. that insert us in our world of ADEDU project. Thank you very much, guys, that you are all around this electronic, let's say, table. This slightly new concept in our life. I'm here, guys, to present you some slices of knowledge and some pieces of maybe interesting things about your role as educators coming directly from ADEDU project. So it's just a small teaser. This is how it works, these capacity building webinars. And I will go directly to my module. That is the module 2. And I will share my screen to start entering you in the world of ADEDU project. So share my screen. Let me check. I don't know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can. If you could put it on presentation mode.
I have it already in my computer in presentation mode.
We can see all the slides like in editing mode.
So I will go again back to check it one more. Sorry for that, guys. Now you see the whole thing. And then I will go to the slide mode. Can you see it? Can you see
it? It is fine, Elias. You can go ahead. It's fine even without the full screen.
I don't know why this happens to me. One last moment, one last trial, and then we will continue like that. So share screen again. Go to the window. And good results, or still you see the whole thing?
It is fine, Elias. You can go ahead. It's fine.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
No waste more time. So module 2 is about differentiated instruction and personalized learning. That means that we will explore in this module how the concept of personalized learning, which is very important for our classrooms, after all these years of concepts of how, at the end, we are learning. So this module is dedicated on the principles and practices of differentiated instruction and personalized learning. And what we are trying to do here, we're trying to give you strategies and tools to exactly meet the diverse needs of your students. And this is very, very important nowadays in our classrooms. So this module has as well practical methods that you can assist you to build these flexible learning environments. How? By enabling the learners and engage them into the content that they can follow at their own path and their own individual learning styles. Learning styles, it's as well an old concept. You all may remember, or you all are aware about Kolb, David Kolb, and learning styles. There were a lot of theoretical concepts behind that was trying to set up the different way of we are understanding knowledge. And some of them are already inside the different modules of our project. But of course, today we'll not pass through the whole thing. We'll just pick up a small slice. As you can see, the learning outcomes, it's setting in a way that allow us to pass through all the stages of setting up a flexible environment, a flexible educational environment. So the first two stages, identifying the key principles and analyzing the diverse learning needs of learners, are, let's say, the preparation phase. Then development and implementation is the phase of setting up the real thing inside our classroom. And the three last, utilize formative assessments, create engaging learning activities, and evaluation is the last part, is the part that we evaluate and assess what we have done following ADEDU's strategies and flexible learning environment strategies. And so it covers you during the whole stages of the process to set up a learning environment. The whole module consists of 2 units following again, let's say, the same principle. So we have the unit 1, that is the theoretical background. So the idea here is trying to understand the concept of learning diversity. That's why the keywords here is learning diversity, learning needs approach, and differentiation. And then from the theoretical background, let's go to practice in unit 2. So we offer you here strategies, methodologies, and tools how to set up this differentiated instruction inside your classroom. So as you can see from the keywords, I'm staying here in the last one, the curriculum adaptation, even for your already existed curricula, can be adapted or can give you some ideas on how to make it more close to differentiated instruction, this project. So we will start from the very first thing, the way to understand the concept and the term of learning diversity. So as educators, because I think that we are educators around the table, it is very important. That's why we set up as a main goal here to identify and analyze these differences to create a more inclusive classroom environment. Because if we understand the differences in between the different mindsets around the classroom, then we can support this differentiated instruction and this personalized learning. So again, it's a process with the first, the second, and the third steps, let's say. In order not for me only to speak, and I need as well, before this, the contents of the whole module, they have an intro, the learning needs approach, and the case study in differentiation. So it provides you as well with some examples that you can think and you can work upon that, and maybe find some similarities with your own realities in your classrooms, actually. Yeah. So now I need a little bit your contributions here. You can write it in the chat. You can say it by raising your hand. 3 main questions to start thinking about learning diversity. What comes to your mind by listening to this term? What is learning diversity? And on the first glance, comes to your mind. And then, what are your thoughts? So let's go a little bit deeper. And did you have any personal experiences on this concept in your classrooms and you wanted to share with us? Because sharing is caring, of course. Sharing is knowledge, especially on the adult education part. So it's important for us to share some experience of yours. And then this concept of learning diversity, do you think that you can connect it with some other terms? This is the main 3 questions. So if you want to write it down in the chat, or raise your hands. I don't know if I can see hands from here. It will be interesting to have some answers.
Yes, I'm looking at the chat. I can't see anything yet, but if anyone wants to speak,
Okay.
just signal and I can allow you to speak.
Thank you, Tavish. Thank you for
No
assisting
worries.
me.
Okay, I see Anastasia. I'm going to give you the floor just a second. Yeah. There you go. Anastasia, you can ask or give your opinion.
I'd say differences in how students think, learning styles, meaning if they are auditory, if they are kinesthetic learners. And of course, we have the differences as far as the cultural background is concerned. I don't know if I'm right, but those are our opinions.
Guys, it's not wrong or right questions right now. It's our sharing our experiences and not to tell that you are absolutely right even in the theory. Dear Anastasia, thank you very
Thank you.
much. Okay,
Okay.
of course, great.
We have a few more in the chat. From Thanasis, we have an opinion. I'm going to just quickly allow you to speak. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Thanasis.
Hello. So what do you want me to say?
Analyze a little bit your opinion that you have right there.
First of all, I think that the term diversity tends to be something negative to most of us when it comes to our mind. Maybe because we work with people with special educational needs. But in fact, learning diversity is about different ways of learning, as I wrote. Different, maybe different processes that take place on our mind, on our brain when we learn. So it has to do also with people with some difficulties, but on the other hand, it has to do with people with many how to say, with on the other side, who are very fast learners, for example.
Okay. So you mean about different paces and different rhythm of learning?
Different brain functions. How to say? Like the other colleague said, maybe someone is more an auditory guy, or someone learns more with visual material. It's about the diversity. That's different stuff that goes on education.
Great analysis. Thank you very much for sharing.
Okay.
Tavishi, let's pick one more.
Yes, there are many actually now.
Yes,
so...
there are many. This is great. It's a discussion.
Yes, we give the floor to Kavita. Yes, Kavita, maybe you can explain a bit your comment in the chat.
Hi, am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Raphael. And I think learning diversity refers to the variety of ways that people learn and process information. So it can be a unique learning styles, strengths, and preferences. So it doesn't stick to one traditional way or one traditional method, which one size fits all for everyone. So each one person is individually different as strength and weakness. So approaching in different methods for learning is what I pursue as learning diversity. So that is creating equal opportunity to succeed in their educational journey. Thank you.
Okay, very nice. Different approaches to the learning journey. So nice, so nice. So there are many other interesting stories here in the chat, and thank you very much, guys. I can see that learning from David McCowie. David, thank you very much for contributing. Learning diversity means recognizing. So it's all about recognition of people learning in different ways. It's very, very, very important. The digital world as well, that is takes presence in the other comments as well. So Sophia, I think mentioned about the visual active learning approaches, which has a characteristic of digital world as well. And Kavita says as well that it's all about celebrating and accommodating the diverse ways in which we acquire knowledge. And I think that we can proceed with this on the concept that we have now. Thank you very much, guys, for your contribution. And you said everything. Of course, you are the educators. You have the experience. You don't need my presence here. But I'm contributing as well, and ADEDU project contributes as well here with a trial to frame the learning diversity. All the important things on the slide is with bold letters. So the learning diversity refers to the wide range of differences among learners, as you have already stated in the chat and during the webinar. And what includes, what are the dimensions? It's the cultural dimension, the academic, the social, the emotional, and the physical one. All these attributes that it's very, very important to understand that there are different in between people, in between our students, actually. And this concept that is very, very similar to the concept of to the principles of adult education, gives an emphasis of this very important and significant thing about learning and our students, that each one of us, they have its own expertise, their own experience, and our own characteristics that can enrich our educational environment. But as well, these characteristics are very, very critical to set up an effective and inclusive environment. So it's very important for us as educators to know about them, to understand them, to recognize them. So this concept recognizes that these differences that we all try to understand are not mutually exclusive, but interrelated. So one can continue the knowledge from the point that the previous one left. And all these together can impact this learning environment that we try to set up. So it's very, very important for us to understand them. There are a lot of theoretical approaches about this concept. And for ADEDU project, we pick Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. This very intelligent doctor and professor of neurology in Harvard University. Most of the people say that this guy changes the way that we think about education and learning environment. So this theory, and it's 1983. It's on 1983, so it's not that old. Comes from his book, the Frames of Mind. Okay, so they say, Gardner says that we have to recognize that people learn more effectively when teaching aligns with their dominant intelligence, because there are different intelligence in this world. And he tries to set up a kind of matrix about this different intelligence in order for us to understand what are these and how we can recognize them and use them inside our classrooms. Actually, the factor for this intelligence development, according to theory of Gardner, is mainly the civilization. Gardner says that civilization plays the key role of which intelligence of these will be developed or not. And he especially accuses schools at his time, of course, because they focus only in two specific intelligence that we will try to guess when we see them on the slide. So, the categories. The first category, the first family of intelligence is this named as language related. And then we have two. The verbal linguistic intelligence, that the strengths of this intelligence is using words effectively, spoken and written. So the skills of these people that have this intelligence, the students, usually is the storytelling, the public speaking, writing, debating, and reading. Together in the same family, we have the other intelligence, musical, rhythmic intelligence. So the people, the students with this intelligence, they have the ability to perceive, appreciate, and create music and rhythm. So skills related is singing, composing music, playing instruments, recognize patterns in sounds. The second family of intelligences is this object related. So first is this bodily kinesthetic intelligence, students with talent for physical coordination, movement, and using the body to solve problems or create things and situations. And their skills are dancing, acting, crafting, and athletics. And the naturalistic intelligence, these people have this sensitivity to the natural world, including plants, animal, and ecosystem, all this green eco-society that we are trying to build. And their skills are observation, categorization, understanding of patterns in nature. This is the second, let's say, family, according to Gardner's theory. And the third family of intelligence is this person-related intelligence. So we have this intrapersonal intelligence. Some persons, some students, some people have this deep self-awareness, including understanding one's emotion, motivations, and inner thoughts. And their skills are self-reflection, goal setting, introspection. I can say that this is a very nice intelligence to be educator. But you want it together with the other intelligence, so some elements from there and some elements from here. The interpersonal, the first one was the intrapersonal. The ability, these people have the ability to understand and interact effectively with others, and their skills are empathy, communication, collaboration, and conflict resolution. I want from you to write me in the chat if you guess why Gardner accused school at his time that promotes only focus only into intelligence. Can you guess which intelligence are these? Can we have a guess in the chat? It's understandable. I mean, yes, maths is one, so very accurate analysis. Yes. And the other one is? No, it's not space. It's the linguistic one. So Gardner used to say that the school only pays attention mathematics and literature. But with this framework, with this theory, with this concept, we can understand more than this now in our classrooms. If we can understand the different intelligence around the classroom, we can provide in our classroom this inclusive pedagogy that is based on the philosophy of differentiation. And what we are doing following this inclusive pedagogy, we're trying to respond, to understand firstly, because to respond, we have firstly to understand all learner needs, regardless disability or language or gender or religion of our students. And maybe this concept 40 or 50 years before was not that important. Nowadays, it's really very important to have this concept in our mind when we are teaching. Okay. This inclusive pedagogy promotes equity in education, because exactly we can support all of our students apart from regardless from their personal differences, and we can support them in the educational path, in the educational roadmap. And of course, this inclusive pedagogy needs to have a holistic approach, even to build an inclusive curriculum, trying to collect and to absorb all the diverse experience that they have, and all as well the expectations of our students. Saying that, so multiple intelligence, diversity learning, learning diversity, and the different level of inclusivity that we have to have all the time in our minds. We are starting from the most negative, that is exclusion, when our learners is totally out of the access or denial of the access of education, of any form of education. Then we can go to segregation. So what we form different special classes. All the people, all the minorities, all the people, let's say learners with disabilities, are together in an environment. That was a way to answer to disability a lot of years before. I think that we have these special classes in many European countries system. Then we go to integration. So we try to attract them and to put in a mainstream approach all together in the same, let's say, classroom, but without many or any adaptation in the curriculum. But the point that we try to conquer is the inclusion. Inclusion using some changes, modifications of the curriculum in our teaching methods as well, approaches, structures, for what? To overcome all the barriers and to respond to all needs of our different, let's say, people around the classroom. This inclusion goes and leads us to inclusive education. And if we check what UNESCO says about inclusive education and the different dimensions that are inside this term, we can see the following principles. Firstly, inclusion is a process. First step, preparation, implementation, assess, third step. So 3 stages. Inclusion focuses on identifying and removing barriers. All of the barriers, all of the possible barriers that we can find. Inclusion is about the presence, the participation, and achievement of all learners. So all learners count in our classroom. We don't make any exception. And inclusion emphasizes supporting groups of learners at risk of marginalization, exclusion, or underachievement. So the minorities or the people that are in need are on the focus, on the epicenter of our training process. There is an interesting note that we put here, that research indicates that the most effective way to educate learners with mild or high incidence of disabilities is to integrate them into regular classrooms than placing them in segregated schools. So this special classes, let's say, routine that it was very, very common in Greece, at least that I know, before 20 years, it's not that accurate. It's not that it doesn't promote the inclusion. Mainstream approaches are, the research says that it's more efficient in this way. To understand the inclusive education and to promote inclusive classrooms, we need to have to be aware of the learning needs and to follow this learning needs approach. Because we know that especially students with learning disabilities, they face academic difficulties. So these difficulties can make them full of stress, and stress doesn't help them to achieve their goals. Okay, and then the stigma comes from the other classroom, from the rest of the people participating. And so to prevent this thing, to prevent this phenomena, we need to follow a comprehensive support needs approach in order as well to address these challenges that we said effectively and early. And this is, let's say, the entrance, because now we have to stop here. Because why we stop here? Because it was just a teaser. Huh? And the idea is to attract you on the whole module and the whole material, because the modules, as you remember by Peter, are 4. And it's very nice to go as well in the theoretical background of each module, because there are a lot of information there, not the PDF, the PowerPoint, but let's say the booklet behind, because there is a booklet. And of course, to participate in the MOOC education that Peter refers. And time to stop sharing. I think that you see me now.
Yes, and I think this is the time for any questions our participants may have for you.
A lot of answers to your questions are inside the whole project, the training material, and the booklet behind this PowerPoint that you saw.
I see a question if this presentation will be available. Yes, on the ad-edu.eu website, we will put the presentation and other information about this webinar. So yes, you will have access to this presentation by visiting our website.
And please try to participate, as Peter says before. Try to participate to the MOOC. And this testing period will be very helpful for us, if you can help us having, let's say, a first idea of the material and tell us your opinion.
So once again, the first cycle of the MOOC is a kind of test cycle. Before we open it for the public in May, we invite anyone who is interested in already joining the MOOC and explore the different modules and provide us with some feedback from a learner or user experience point of view. That would be absolutely helpful. Please contact us if you would like to join us for this test cycle of the MOOC.
It will be great, guys.
Are there any questions for Ilias? Please write it in the chat, or feel free to raise your hand and we allow you to speak.
Thank you, Eleni, for your good comments.
I see a question in the chat.
A bad one from Thanasis. Huh? I have a bad question. There is research that individuals will learn disabilities from inclusion. What about the other guys? Maybe slowing down the others? This is usually the, let's say, the argument that... yeah, tell us how much. Thanasis, tell us.
No, just wondering. Because, okay, inclusion, of course, is a very beautiful term, but what happens in reality? And of course, it's a matter of, you said, okay, we say it's a process, but in reality, does it work? Does it depend on the infrastructure of a country or of a school or something? You know what I mean?
As I told you, as I was starting to tell you, I mean, this is the usual argument from the, not the minority, from the others. So when you, when you try to set up a classroom, an inclusive classroom with migrants, let's say, all the others says, oh, our children will slow back and blah, blah. There are a lot of materials and tools, guys, that can assist us in order to avoid this slow back process. So there are even ADEDU offers ideas. And if you check the bibliography and the toolboxes, especially from Erasmus projects, because Erasmus is, I don't know if you are aware, is focused on training. So, and producing training materials, there are a lot of toolboxes that you can use to avoid and to fasten a little bit this this process.
Maybe more personnel would be useful as well, but it's a long conversation.
Of course, there are other, let's say,
barriers,
elements that plays a key role in this process of inclusion. Because I mean, what if I have an inclusive classroom and outside the small community is totally not inclusive?
Yes.
But I mean, at least as educators, let's try to do our best.
Yeah, to implement those this philosophy or something.
Yeah. Thank you, Thanasis.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I see a hand raised. Atavishi, could you please enter, Masan? Thank you.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is a very interesting lectures, because if you look at it as a classroom, we have mixture of disabilities, among the classroom. So if the teacher doesn't learn how to do, inclusive and integrating of students within the classroom, means most of the students will be left behind. So I don't know whether this training will be continuing, or you normally interact with different people from different part of the world, so that like people like me, we are interested to get more information about the project. So thank you all.
Thank you, Masane, for your interesting question. And it was in the parallel, more or less the same question from Kavitha in the chat, that what about the mainstream approach and the mainstream classrooms when we don't have only learning disabilities? The idea behind our fellow educators, as you can see as well in the whole ADEDU process, is this individual approach and the individual plan. So if we are promoting in our classrooms individual approach, and we are creating this plan for each one of our students, I think that we will be able first to define what are the needs, the different needs. And I show you that, I'm going to show you this, even in the same group, even with a group of learning disabilities, you can find different needs. Doesn't mean that we have a classroom only with learning disabilities. It will be, let's say, the same needs. So very, very important. First is to understand the different needs. And then, of course, to apply different methodologies. At the ADEDU project, this toolkit is dedicated to learning disabilities. In IASIS and other organizations, I'm sure, even in all digital, all the partners, they have create projects with other kind of disabilities. So you can match and mix different tools from different, let's say, toolkits. But the most important thing is this individual approach, to understand the individual needs of each of our students. Grouping as well, Thanasis, yes, can be helpful. And Inga, I think the MOOC courses are for free.
Yes, of course, they are for free. Ilias, there is a question from Kavita in the chat about inclusive classroom. Can you please refer to that?
Yes, I already referred to Kavita because it was similar to the questions about this this inclusive classroom. It's not only for learning disabilities. No, as I said, Kavita, we need to go individually and check what are the needs there, as well as what are the possibilities there, the capacity of the people. So it's really very, very, very helpful. We start from this. And then, as I told you, Kavita, we need to check different toolkits for the different needs to be covered. So maybe ADEDU cannot cover everything, has a focus on learning disabilities, but there are other projects and there are toolkits that you can use to cover different, let's say, dimensions or different disabilities in the classroom. This is the mainstream approach. But please start with this individual approach and the individual needs assessment. Peter, you say something or because?
No,
Thank
sorry.
you, Rafael. Thank you so much.
I thank you guys. It's a pleasure to have you all around the table. I'm learning as well. Masaneg, yes, different people from all over the globe. Yes, we are working in our classrooms with many, many, many people from wherever. I mean, world is small like an apple. Yes, exactly. As Peter provided the information, it's the next webinar. So again, few slices of knowledge and discussions and sharing the information, which is very, very important for the project and for us as educators. Please be there again.
Are there any other questions for Elias or for the partners? If not, I would like to thank you, Elias, for your contributions and for the teaser to our MOOC. Yeah, I thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, to attend our event today. And maybe back to you, Tabashi, for a few closing words.
Yes, thank you so much, Peter and Elias and all the participants. We're very happy with your enthusiasm and interest. The discussions were indeed very insightful. And we hope that you can be part of our 10 webinars where we will explore different aspects of inclusive education. As Peter and Elias already mentioned, the next one is on integrating technology into a classroom, but we will focus on the role of assistive technology. So stay tuned. We will be again sharing more information. And thank you so much and have a nice rest of the day. Bye.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.